Okay. I'm going to hide this right here. Bing. Okay, everybody. I'm going to read it before I go. We're going to read it here together, guys. It's story time on Veve. Let's read it, okay? We read the first page. Let's go to the second page. There's Uncle Ben over there. Look at that. Okay, let's go. I don't want to do the full preview like this. I want to get back to, let's go out here. Hold on a second. Let's get out of here. We got to do it this way. Let's go to collection. I'm going to read this to you guys. It's story time. Let's read the comic. Let's do it. All right. And then we'll get out of here. Okay, we did the first page right here. Let's go to the next one right here. Okay, I'll read it. Should I do it? Should I do it like this? No, I'll do it with my face right here. That way you guys can see. I'll put my face down in the, should I do the, I'll put it in the side. I'll put it in the side over here. Okay, let's go. As you may have gathered, Peter Parker was far from being the biggest man on campus, but his Uncle Ben thought he was a pretty special lad. You're not fooling me, Petey. I know you're awake and it's time for school. Gosh, Uncle Ben, you're worse than a room full of alarm clocks. As for Pete's Aunt May, she thought the sun rose and set upon her nephew. I cooked your breakfast, your favorite breakfast, Petey, wheat cakes. Don't fatten him up too much, dear. I can hardly out-wrestle him now. Oh. So he's well-loved, you guys. Oh. The faculty at Midtown High were also fond of the clean-cut, hard-working honor student. Keep up the good work, Peter Parker. You're a sure rate to scholarship when you graduate. I'll do my best, sir. But alas, some other teenagers can sometimes unwittingly be so very cruel to a shy young man. Sadly, Sally, I was wondering if you're busy tonight. Peter, for the umpteenth time, you're just not my type. Not when dreamboats like Flash Thompson are around. I admire your good taste, doll. Get lost, bookworm. Ugh. Look, there's a great new exhibit at the Science Hall tonight. Would any of you like to go with me? Science Hall? You stick to science, son. We'll take the chicks. Yes, for some, being a teenager has many heartbreaking moments. See you around, bookworm. Give her regards to Atom Smashers, Peter. Someday I'll show them. Sob. Someday they'll be sorry. Sorry they laughed at me. And he goes to the science exhibit. And for a few minutes later, Peter forgets the taunts of his classmates as he is transported to another world, the fascinating world of atomic science. And now for a demonstration of how we can control radioactive rays here in the laboratory. But as the experiment begins, no one notices a tiny spider descending from the ceiling in an almost invisible strand of web. A spider whose fate has been given a starring and brief role to play in the drama we call life. Bzzz, it zaps. Accidentally absorbing the fantastic amount of radioactivity, the dying insect, in a sudden shock, bites the nearest living thing a split second before the life ebbs from its radioactive body. Ow! A spider! It bit me! But why is it burning so? Why is it glowing that way? My head feels strange. I need some air. Looks like our experiment unnerved young Parker. Too bad he must have a weak stomach. What's happening to me? I can feel different, as though my entire body is charged with some fantastic energy. Honk, honk. His car almost runs him down, right? Wrapped in his thoughts, Peter doesn't hear the auto, which narrowly misses him, until the last instant. And then, unnoticed by the riders, he unthinkingly leaps to safety. But what a leap it is! That was one egghead who won't be daydreaming anymore when he crosses the street. You can say that again. What's come over me? I'm scaling the wall as easily as I can walk. Look, Mommy, at the man walking up the side of the building. Sorry, that was my little kid voice. I hope you don't mind. That's how all little kids sound. That's the last horror movie I'll be taking you to, young man. Oh, she doesn't even believe him. She doesn't even look. It's so funny. It's incredible. I've reached the roof in a few seconds. What's this? I crushed a steel pipe as though it was paper. So in the comic, he gets his powers like right away, you guys. He doesn't go to bed overnight or anything like that. It's the spider. It has to be. Somehow, in some miraculous way, the bite has transferred its power to me. I can walk down this cable as effortlessly as the spider can glide along its web. I've got to have time to think. I've got to plan what to do with this unbelievable ability which fate has given me. So a few minutes later, this will be a good chance to test my power again. $100 to the man who can stay in the ring 3 minutes with Crusher Hogan. So if you remember the first movie, that was the Macho Man, right? And that was Bonesaw, remember? Filled with excitement, Pete races back to home and I'll put some old clothes on and leave my glasses here. But what if I fail? I don't want to be a laughingstock. I have to find some way to disguise myself. So this is the reason he gets to disguise everybody, so he doesn't get embarrassed again, right? A few minutes later, I'll try that $100, Crusher. Well, if it ain't a little masked Marvel, step up, sucker. Now just relax, Shorty. I'll try to make this as painless as possible. Whoop, jumps over him. It works. I have the speed, agility, and the strength of a very gigantic spider. Hey, you win. Put me down. Yeah, you're not human. No one can do that. Want to bet? That's the greatest act I've ever seen. Sensational, fantastic. And that gimmick, that mask gimmick, gives him just the touch of the right mystery. He was terrific. And this guy right here with the blue hat here. That mask character maybe be just what I'm looking for. Listen, friend, I'm a TV producer. With that act of yours, I can make you a fortune. And keep the mask angle. There's a great showman. Here's my card. Call me. You'll be a smash on Ed Sullivan's show. Thanks. Gives him some cashola, little cashola there, guys. Later at home again. And by the way, this is so cool that I can read this comic on the web app. I'm just loving this. I hope you guys are liking it too. Later at home again. Showmanship. He hasn't seen anything yet. Since I have all the powers of a spider, I'll design a spider costume. And, oh, hi, Aunt May. You look a little tired, Petey, so we thought we'd bring you some crackers and milk. Crackers and milk, bless them if they only knew. Now, let's see. I need some spider webs. This little device should do the trick. So in the comic book, he just instantly makes his web shooters just like that, right? I'll fasten one to each arm and operate by the slightest pressure of any finger. So he's got his little web shooters there. I need a name. Well, I guess Spider-Man is as good as any. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Yeah, look at the costume he just made in 2 seconds. I love it. He just made the costume, just in 2 seconds. So they laughed at me for being a bookworm, eh? Well, only a science major could have created a device like this with some strong liquid cement at the end. I could pull myself up anywhere with my little web. And my costume is thin enough to wear unseen under my street clothes. Okay, so that's why he made it super thin. He can just put it under his clothes, right? That's why superheroes have super thin, tight clothing. Think about that. Okay, world, better hang out. Better hang on to your hat. Here comes the Spider-Man. Oh, part 2. Now, this is a really short comic, guys, just so you know. Now, anybody with the intelligence of a 7-year-old knows that a man who appeared on TV who seemed to be more spider than human, he'd be an overnight sensation, especially when his feats were performed without the help of a trick photography. Well, you can just imagine how the public reacted to Spider-Man. I'm seeing it with my own eyes and I still don't believe it. Sure, they all look amazed, incredible, awestricken. Wouldn't you? Look at the faces of all the people. After all, when was the last time you saw a man with his own fantastic spider web? Okay, Spider-Man, cut. That's enough. Don't want to show him too much. Leave him begging for more. His first appearance. So here's the page where he lets the guy go. His first appearance, and he breathes his first sweet scent of fame and success. So this is the first time he's ever feeling anything positive towards him. I'm from Life. We'll pay you anything. Sign with me. We'll put you in the movies. Wait, we want an interview. He's like, see my agent. I'm busy. And then this is where he lets him go. I just read this a minute ago. Stop, thief. If he makes it to the elevator, he'll get away. Of course, he gets away. And he's like, that guy didn't stop me. And then the police officer's like, what's with you, mister? All you had to do was hold him or trip him or whatever, just for a minute. He's like, sorry, pal. That's your job. I'm through with being pushed around. Now just look out for number 1. That's me. And he's like, I ought to run you in. He's like, save your breath, buddy. I got things to do. And a few hours later, Peter, you know the microscope you've always wanted? Your uncle and I bought it for you this afternoon. Gosh, that's terrific. You're the greatest family I ever had. They're the only ones who've ever been kind to me. I'll see it to that they're always happy, even if the rest of the world can go hang for all I care. So he's pretty mad at everybody, right, Peter? So then he goes on, he does multiple shows, okay? In the days that follow, he becomes a sensation. So he becomes really famous really quickly, guys, in the comic. And one evening, Peter Parker returns home from a personal appearance. So he went out to do a personal appearance. A police car in front of my house. What could be wrong? Bad news, son. Your uncle has been shot, murdered. Uncle Ben, no, it can't be. And you notice that's the same cop, right? Who did it? Who shot him? It was a burglar. Your uncle surprised him. Don't worry, lad. We got him trapped. He's in a warehouse, the old Acme warehouse at the waterfront. We'll get him. Your aunt is next door. The neighbors are looking after her. Wait, I've got to go. I got to go get him. I know the old warehouse. He's been deserted for years. A killer could hold off an army in that gloomy old place. He won't hold off Spider-Man. There's the warehouse, the other side of town. I'll be there in no time. He swings over. So this is the first time he's actually swinging, although you might have done it on the show. Meanwhile, he's in there, but he'll pick us off like flies if we charge him. All I got to do is hold him off till the moon goes down. Then I ought to be able to slip away in the dark. You'll never escape, murderer. What the? Surprised to see me? Not as half as surprised as you're going to be. I got to get away. I must hide. I must be seeing things. And he jumps over him. That's pretty cool. I love the old art. Isn't the old art like so incredible, you guys? There's no place you can hide on Earth, even from me. There's no place on Earth where you can hide from me. First, I'll relieve you of your gun. Then my fist will do the rest. Bonk. And then he sees him, you guys. He sees him. That face. Oh, no, it can't be. That's the fugitive who ran past me, the one I didn't stop when I had the chance. I hate to do it, but we'll have to rush in now. Can't take a chance of him slipping by the dark. Captain, look. It's him. On a spider's web. And a short distance away, everybody. Oh, this is the moment. My fault. All my fault. If I only had stopped them when I could have. But I didn't. And now my Uncle Ben is dead. And a lean, silent figure slowly fades away into the gathering darkness, aware at last that in this world with great power there must come great responsibility. Oh, there's the line! And so a legend is born and a new name is added to the roster of those who make the world of fantasy the most exciting realm of all. Be sure to see the next amazing fantasy for the further amazing exploits of America's most different new teenage idol, Spider-Man. The end. So that's the story, guys. We read it, but we all know that it was such a huge hit that what happened, is that there's nothing else to the story. There's another story after. But what happened is that Stan Lee and them, it was such a huge hit, they just made his own comic. So that's crazy.